Today we're checking out this. This is the Xvive XV1-R Stereo Recorder. And here it is. Now, it's a stereo recorder, so you can see it's got an XY, two microphones, kind of in this XY pattern, and you need an SD card to get it up and run it. Now, record-wise, the first thing, let's get this out of the gate, is it's 96 kilohertz at 32-bit float. And that's the highest you can go. You can do WAV, you can do AAC-LC, and you can also do HEAAC for lossless. It's also Type-C underneath, so you can actually plug that in to transfer the files. But you can also use it as an audio interface. It's got a line out on one side, but it's got a line in on the other. So therefore you can actually plug your guitar into this, or maybe plug a mixer into this if you wanted to. So I'm going to show you a couple of reasons why you'd use this. Let's go around the system and let me just show you a quick way of using it and a couple of extra features that are hidden inside this. Now, before we get going, Xvive did send this out for review and I get to keep it. They're not paying for this review. They're not seeing the video beforehand. They don't get to say how I edit or video. And of course, as always, the thoughts are my own. So what you're hearing right now and what I use in the studio is the Rode Video Mic GoTo. It's a little microphone, a little shotgun microphone that's plugged into the camera, and you're hearing that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to record directly from here. So we're actually in record mode right now, and I know I'm holding it, but I'm going to put it next door, and we're going to switch over. So as I hold it and switch over, we're just going to put that, I'm leaving it in shot so you can see it. Now this is a stereo microphone, of course, as opposed to a mono one, and I'm just going to keep switching between the Rode Video Mic GoTo and the XV1-R to give you an idea of what it sounds like. So I'm doing this in post and giving myself one heck of a job to do that all the way through. So let me know what you think. Let me know what it sounds like, which ones you prefer, and also the fact is I don't have to hold it here. I don't have to plug it into the camera either, because it's recording, it's an independent recorder. Now the other thing to use this for, of course, is using it in a live environment. So if you're recording maybe your gig, like a live gig, you could have one of these maybe pointing the other way and actually pointing at the audience. It's a great way to pick up a stereo signal of the audience, and it's completely independent. You can then just match up the audio in post-production. Now of course you do need an SD card to get this rolling, and I've got an SD card in here right now, and I needed to format it, so make sure of course you've got everything you need off that SD card before you clear it. So this actually has quite a unique user interface, and the way I'm holding it right now, I'm deliberately doing this because you'll be able to hear this, you'll be able to hear me sort of like holding it. It is plastic, but you wouldn't really hold it. You'd put it on the table somewhere, or you'd put it on the 1/4-inch mount, so therefore it's on a tripod, or you could just put it down. You can see you've got this little sort of stand here right on the top there, which is really cool. So that can just go on the table straight away and just stay there. And that's what I've done right now. I'm now not holding it. It's just sitting on the desk next door to the Rode Video Mic GoTo. So therefore it's recording, and I can just leave it recording for hours. What a lot of people do for live streaming, and they haven't got loads of equipment, is they use their phone. This is the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I'm using the microphone and the normal camera app. I haven't got anything special going on here, and it's just propped up. I'm using the back camera, the main camera, and I'm just using that to record myself. Either recording or live streaming, and you're recording your show, you want to put your phone up. So you can hear the microphone of that now, and right next door is the XV1-R. So I've got the XV1-R recording right now, and I'm just going to place it on the table next door to the phone. Okay. Now the reason I'm doing this is because of twofold. One, you could use this separately if you wanted to. The other thing you can do as well, you can use a USB-C to USB-C cable, plug it in, and the phone recognizes it as an audio interface. So then you can actually use the microphones for your live stream, or for your recording, or for your live gig, or for a recorded gig, whatever you're using. So I've got the guitar here. I'm going to play one of my songs, and then I'm going to switch between the microphone that you're hearing right now, which is the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and the XV1-R, and just switch between them just so you get the idea of the sense of quality. It's 2 p.m. and I am sitting at this bar again, wondering if the rain will ever stop. British weather doing the best it can. They walk into town, it's 3 p.m. at the whiskey jar. Business lunches haven't got very far. Thought that I just saw your face again. outside of the window pane. I guess that I'll keep drinking, cause you can hear the difference, right? So the clever thing is you don't even have to hit record on the XV1-R, plug it into your phone, and then you can just use the microphones as the audio source. So one thing I want to talk about is positioning and also direction. So right now I've got the microphones here. You can see how far away they are, okay? And the audio you're hearing is this. It's not the other microphone. So I'm going to start turning this round. So as I start turning this round now, obviously it's meant to pick up the stereo field, and now it's all the way behind me, so the microphone's at the front and this is at the back, and we'll pull this round. I'll keep talking and waffling on so you can hear what it's saying or hear how it sounds, making mistakes. So if I talk like this, I'm talking at my normal voice level, by the way. I'm going to do this again, and now I'm going to talk a little bit louder, ha ha ha, and then I'm going to talk a little bit louder this way, ha ha ha, and it's probably going to go nuts. But I just wanted to get you your idea of where you would position this. So if you've got this on a tripod or you've got this just on the table, how it would sound as you're recording something. So when you turn it on for the first time, which I'll do right now, you'll see this little light go green, and then it just goes straight into playback mode. So it's not ready to record yet. You've got lots of information on this screen. So starting right at the top here is the SD card, and it has a couple of different icons depending on what it's doing. Then you've got what it's doing, so right now it's playback, and this is your battery icon up here. You've got your left and your right. As I say, we're in playback mode, not record mode, so it's not bouncing up and down right now, and you've got your 0 dB at the top, minus 48 there. You've got the thing that we're playing back, and it says 2 minutes and 41 seconds, and that was the actual audio recorded earlier on. We've got a plus and a minus for the volume of the speaker, and then what you've also got is you've then got the timing and the WAV. And then you've got these 4 buttons. These 4 buttons change depending on what you're doing. So as you can see here, I've got this menu system. I can go back. You've got this overdub option, which I'll get to in a minute. You've then got the 1S, which is fast forward or rewind by 1 second. So if I give that a tap, we can change that. So I want it to do it by 10 seconds or 1 or 5 minutes, whichever one you want. And then you've got information. So just information about the recording, when I did it, how long it is, things like that. You can see the bottom row is now changed. So I can click there to go back. You've then got this OPT options. So if I hold it down, you can see the bottom row changes. There's a couple of options there. And then this is our record button right here. So we can actually record, we can click it, and now we're in record mode. It's not recording yet. So this means it's showing you the gain, and we can see the gain here. We can see my voice bouncing up and down. There is a timer, and of course if I click record, it'll start kicking in. And then you've got these 4 buttons here, and this is where you've got a couple of things. So first of all, I can click the little eye, and we can change what the quality is. So right now we're in production, and production is lossless 32-bit float WAV for pristine music and media, but it's large file size. We can use the left and right here to move across, so we can go to general, high quality AAC for ambient voice or music recordings. You've got meeting, high efficiency, for stereo call recording for lectures and things like that. You've got voice memo, so if you just want to call record a voice memo and you don't want the file size to be massive. You've also got concert as well, which is cool. High quality AAC for transparent encoding of music and media, and then we're back to production. To activate any of them, we just go across. So let's go, say, to concert, and we click there. So you can now see that says concert as opposed to production. If I go here, we'll go back over to production, click it, and we're now in production. Next, we've got these 3 little offs. The first one is a gate. So if I give it a click, you can see it's off at the moment. We can have minus 60, minus 48, minus 36, or off. Next, we've got a compressor, and we can actually have the compressor on or off. And then we've also got a low cut, really useful in certain environments to have a low cut. So we can actually turn that low cut to 80 Hertz, 100 Hertz, 120 Hertz, or off. So you can turn all 3 of them on if you want to. You've got these parts here, which is menu, home, stop, and mark. And then you've got play, you've got up and down, left and right, and of course the record button. So if we just hit record now, you can see the timer has kicked in, little record sign there. We are recording. It's facing away from me right now. If I use the up and down, this is actually changing the gain, and you can see that there, that the volume is actually changing. You can see on the meter there of the amount of input that's coming in. Let's say we get to a venue, you want to record a band, and it's just absolutely blasting. You can reduce the amount of gain. Now the trick as well is 2 things. One, we can mark it. So maybe you play the song and then you click mark to mark the different song. You can go through markers, and then we can stop, and we can stop by clicking the stop button. It'll save it, And there we go. The nice thing is it always tells you how much data is left on the card. So it's 58.7 gigabytes, which is cool. And then you can see it's file number 2. Now, if I go to home right now, it goes back into playback mode. And I can move across between the different ones and then just hit play. Now, there is a speaker on here, and the speaker is just a little speaker just so you can get a reference. I would not use it as a sort of monitoring system or anything like that. It's just to go, did it record? Yes. Now, we've been through home, mark, and stop. The other one is the main menu. So the menu here, this goes into the menu system. So we've got the record menu. We can change the profile and effects. We've got a mic pad. We've got plug-in power, which we can do. What format we're on, the sample rate, the channels, the time limit, and we can do loads more here. So the profile is what we discussed before, where we got the production or the general or the meeting or the voiceover and things like that. Then you've also got effects. So the effects is exactly what we saw on the main screen. So you just get to them in a different way. You've also got a mic pad as well. So if you want that mic pad on or off, you can do that. You can also do plug-in power. So you can have it so when you plug it in by USB-C, it plugs in and turns on, and obviously it delivers power. It's run by 2 AA batteries, and it runs, depending on conditions, up to 12 hours on 2 alkaline batteries. You've got a play menu, and that's just a couple of things about the play rate, the fast forward, the speed, and repeat. You've got files, so we can actually look at the files directly. The system itself, I've got the backlight on all the time at the moment, just for this demo, and that's going to drain the battery, but by default, it's actually every 15 seconds it'll go dark, and you can set the power and when it powers off and things like that if it's not being touched. Now, one other feature I've not talked about, I've kind of missed it, is this little play button here. And what this is overdub. So you can actually play a song, and then what you can do is you can then press overdub and you can record over the top of that song. However, what I'd highly recommend do is make sure you've got headphones, because you don't want it bleeding back on itself. So I've just recorded that now, and then all I need to do is go to home, and then you can see just there the little play button, and that is the overdub button. I'm going to put some headphones on, and I'm going to sing over the top. So now I can, as soon as I press that button, I can hear myself. I can hear the audio in this environment. So now all I need to do is press record.
She's a good girl. She loves her mama, loves Jesus and America too.
Now, of course, I can take the SD card out and transfer the files, but I don't actually need to. What I can do is I can plug it in by USB-C, and you need to have it switched off to do this. So you plug it in by USB-C while it's switched off. When you switch it back on, you get a brand new menu, and it asks you what do you want. So it can either be a recorder, a card reader, or USB audio. So I just need the card reader. So if I give that a click, it then says mass storage device, and then it's just popped up on my computer. Simple as that. It's come up as Xvive and I can just transfer the files. Now, the other alternative is the phone. So if I'm using it for live streaming, I could obviously plug it in to the phone, and then if I switch this on, then what I would do is I would pick USB audio. So then you've got this option here at the bottom, third one, you can see it there. So I'm just going to go down, down. So it's picked USB audio, and then we do that. You can then see you've got an audio bit here, and then the phone has kicked in and said, are you connecting a pair of headphones? I will always say other device, because it's not headphones, it's a microphone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out of the normal camera app on the phone, and I'm going to use the camera app, which is called Final Cut Camera, which is what you can use for filming. And the reason for this is because you can actually dictate what the audio is, and it's for filming, not for live streaming. But if I go into here and go into audio, you can now see here the source is Xvive headphones. But if I show you the very top just here, you can see the audio signal there. And if I give these a tap, you can see it's working. So then if I then just use the normal phone, if I'm live streaming or filming with the phone plugged in by USB-C, you're going to get much better audio from this than you are from the microphone of this. The question is, what do I think of this? Well, I think this is a cool little tool to have if you're just taking things to the next level. Either you're using it on its own and you're recording stuff, you're recording your performances, maybe you're using it as a demo device, maybe you're using it in lectures and you want to capture everything. I like the idea of the overdub, that's cool. The XY on this is pretty good, and I think the audio sounds really, really nice. I'd say there's two downsides for this, which is one, the build quality is plastic, and if you're handling it, you can hear the recording, you can hear the tapping and everything else. I do like this little stand just to keep obviously the microphones elevated off any kind of level if it's on a table, which is nice. The other thing that's missing in the box is an SD card. You do need a micro SD card to go and grab one, and there's actually no USB-C cable. They don't supply one, so if you want to transfer it and use it with your phone, they're just really, really simple things, of course. You can go and get them. There's one slight issue on battery where when I was using headphones, maybe it was the headphones I was using, maybe they're a bit too powerful, but there was a little bit of noise coming from the headphones, a little bit of a weird whistling noise, and I don't know if that's because of the power and the batteries and it couldn't use them, I'm not sure, but it sounded a bit whistly, a bit strange whistle noise. There's just a one-off occurrence, so I'll give it its due. Maybe it was just because they were big headphones plugged into something that's running on AA batteries. But I think this thing is great. I think it's a great thing to have in your bag. Certainly if you're doing a gig and you want to record that gig, you may want to record the gig, and you also may want to record the audience. One feature I'd like to see maybe in an update, I don't know if they can do it, maybe the circuitry can't do it, but I'd like to see where you've got this as USB audio. I've got it set up right now, and it's passing that through to the phone, but I'd still want to hit record on this. When it's in USB audio mode, it's great. It's a USB audio mic, and that's fine. That's working right now, okay? It's working with the phone. But I can't use the SD card. I'd love to see an option where it's USB audio, but also you can still record. Now maybe that takes too much power because it's running at 32-bit float, 96 kilohertz, I don't know. But it's great you have this USB audio option. I think that's fantastic. And you can adjust the gain and everything, and that's cool. But I think it would be really nice to be able to record to the SD card as well, and then you've got a backup audio recording should anything else fail. Other than that, though, this thing is a really cool device, and at £75, it's under 100 quid. I would certainly add one to my arsenal, keep it in my bag, in my gig bag, and then if you need to record something, maybe you need to do an interview afterwards, and there you go, you've got a decent microphone for it. Or you need to attach this to a camera. Of course, you've got that 1/4-inch thread there. I would actually attach it to, say, like a tripod like that, and maybe record the ambiance of the gig. So you've got the recording maybe from the phone, that it's actually, you've got that going from the mixer or something like that, and then you've got the recording of the actual audience clapping and cheering, and you've got both. You can grab that and mix it in. The other option you can do with this, of course, is it is an audio interface. So you can use this with your phone, with anything that's USB-C to USB-A. So you could actually use it to begin recording. It's a fantastic little audio interface. There is a line in option as well. So you can use the line in here, and that is obviously to plug in maybe a lavalier microphone. So if you want to actually put this in your pocket, it disables these microphones and it plugs in and uses those instead. I'd like to see an option where you use both. So you could actually have maybe the guitar going in there and a microphone going in here. I'd actually like to see the option with the line in so you can use both. So you can actually use the line in for the guitar and of course use the microphones for singing. Something like that would be quite cool. I've left links in the description box if you want to go and pick one of these up. Thank you to Xvive for sending this out to me. So this is made by Xvive, and if you don't know Xvive very well, they're actually renowned now for doing amazing stuff for wireless. They do accessories, and one of the accessories I really, really like and use all the time is their butterfly guitar stand. It's under half the weight and half the size of a normal guitar stand, and that's that video right there. And the other video is the brand new in-ear monitoring system. Go and choose a video and binge watching me show you more stuff.